Hey everyone, it's me again, the Grey Man. I'm joined here by Ben from is it KillerKorp? Is it pronounced KillerKorp? It is pronounced KillerKorp.
KillerKorp, yeah, with the P.
Okay. Because what is, I always my first question is always what's in the name. So I want to know what is behind the name. Because I know that it's Corps, which is spelled C-O-R-P-S. It looks like it should be corpse.
Like military corps, yeah.
Yeah, because that always confused me. So that's why I was wondering if maybe you was like a silent P and it was like KillerKorp or something like that.
Oh, right.
When it's not, it's KillerKorp, yeah?
Yeah, so basically I came up with the idea. This is before we had any songs or anything. We already had a gig booked pretty much, but we had a deadline that we had to have like songs and a name and have everything for, because we were like, if we get like a really nice deadline that we have to do this by, we'll just be forced to fucking do it, So I was thinking under the pressure a bit, and I was like, I came up with Kill the Corporation. That sounded a bit too punk for what we're doing. So then I shortened it to KillerKorp with a C, as in like Killer Corporation, and then Jakey added in the second K to make it like the double K, KillerKorp.
Right, yeah, cool. So I know what to say in future when I play you on my podcast or anything like that. So yeah, I wasn't too sure. I was like, because I was always caught out by that as a kid. There was a comic I used to read called The Green Lantern Corps, but I always still said Green Lantern Corpse, and then it wasn't until many years later I realised I was getting it wrong. So, want to tell us a little bit about your band, how you started, where in England it is you're situated, what kind of style? Also, tell people who are watching this later on what kind of style you are, what they would expect from if they listen to you.
So the way we've like rounded it all off is called it Blackened DeathGrind. So because we're all into like different things, a lot of us are into, or all of us are into some form of extreme metal, and also take in like different inspirations from different things. So we end up with like a jumbled kind of mix that we couldn't really think of a kind of tagline for. So we just I think it was Jake that decided that's probably a really nice all-round tagline for it. We're from Ipswich, Suffolk. So yeah, home of like Cradle and Devilment and Extreme Noise Terror.
Right, I know a band called Chemical from there as well.
Chemical. We played with them a fair few times.
Yeah, cool. Are they still going?
Good band. Yeah,
I'd heard from them for ages.
Yeah, from what I know of, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So when did you form?
We formed, I think it was 2018. I think it was 2018. But me and Jake had the idea to be in a band since we were kids. Basically, we've been friends since we were like 9 and 10 years old, respectively. Yeah. So we wanted to be in a band from that young age, and just like would run around the living room listening to Slipknot and like being little terror children, basically. And then, but we had our idea for this, and then in school we met Sonny, who's now our drummer, and then Daniel, our bassist, is my brother, who we got to learn a bass specifically because we needed a bass player. So and he wanted to be involved.
I did exactly the same thing with my band. I made my brother be the bass player because he wasn't really that bothered. I said, "You play the bass, we can get pissed and do gigs and have fun."
Daniel plays drums, so his first instrument is drums, but he picked up a bass because my parents got him one for his birthday because we asked them to, and and then I think we met John in college, so that was when all of us kind of came together.
Right. So tell us more about this deadline you were talking about. You gave yourself a deadline. How come you didn't all sit down and come up with a band name then? It just are you kind of like the boss of the band and what you say goes, or is it?
Not really, no. It's very it's very democratic, really. It's all, we all have to agree on something. We all have to agree on an idea before we go ahead with it. It won't just be like one of us comes up with this riff and then that's the riff for the song, and no one else has an input. If one of us puts a hand up and say, "I don't think it works," then we'll scrap it and work out on something else, or change it to make it sound different, So we're really quite democratic about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And so where do you actually practice then? Would you get together weekly and do a jam, or a lot of people do online now?
oh yeah, we can't really do that. It doesn't really work. But basically, we started off in my parents' shed. They had a shed at the side of their house, and we basically started off in there, pissing off all the local council estate people. Like they were like expecting to be lounging about in their back gardens with a beer on a Sunday afternoon. They had us to listen to. Like,
oh man, awesome.
So yeah, we had loads of complaints and stuff for about a year or so, and like the council was still telling us just keep doing it. Don't let them put you off because you're not doing anything wrong, kind of thing.
Right.
But the problem was we kept getting so many complaints, like it just got too much. So then we started rehearsing at a place called the Central Audio Lab in Ipswich, which is just in the town. It's a friend of ours' dad.
Yeah. So it's lucky your shed never got burnt down.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, because we have friends who like lived a good few roads away who would message us and be like, "Oh, I like that song. Play that one again."
Oh God, that must have been loud then. Jesus,
that's pretty loud. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty loud. So what was your first gig then? So you've been
going So that was what the question was, wasn't it? The first gig.
Kind of leading to it, yeah.
Yeah. So we got a gig at our local pub, which was being put on by another like quite like high profile metal band in our area. Yeah. And so it was literally down the road from my house, so it wasn't like we could turn it down. It had to be done. So we were like, right, this is going to be our first gig. It's local, so we can get all our friends to come down and watch us for like our debut. And we just took it and was like, well, we haven't got a name really, like not anything dead set in. We haven't really got any proper songs formed yet, but we're like, fuck it, if we have like a specific thing to get it done by, then it will light a fire under our asses to really do it.
Right,
and the stuff that came from that is what's on our EP Pain. So that is all stuff that came out of like probably like a couple of weeks of just jamming like pretty much 2-3 times a week to get these songs put together.
Yeah. So how many songs did you have ready for that first gig?
We had 7 of our own ones.
All right, that's cool. That's quite bad.
And then a few covers as well. But
pretty decent. Yeah. Pretty decent set. Was you opening up or was you first band on?
Yeah, we opened for that one.
Was it a good crowd?
Yeah, it was awesome because it was like our local pub, so it was like all our friends came down to come and watch it. It was awesome. It was like we broke the stage. So Daniel, my brother, our bassist, he was jumping when we were playing Sick by Slipknot, and he went straight through the fucking thing.
And did anyone film it? Tell me something.
Yeah, there's footage. There's footage on YouTube. Awesome. Yeah, you can go back and watch it. If you go on the video for KillerKorp at the Kingfisher pub, then
you need to incorporate that into a later music video as well. All the outtakes all put into one video kind of thing. I did a reaction video as well, didn't I, for one of your tracks? What was that track I did a reaction video for? Is that kind of like your big hit? Or
that's basically our like favorite one, everyone's favorite one really. Well, whenever we play it, everyone says it's their favorite one. So that was kind of the one we decided to push as a single.
It's the banger of the set.
Yeah.
So it was a Survival of the Fittest, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, cool. We were talking before a little before we came on, I think, about saying you haven't got a Metal Archives page. I always like to try and look at Metal Archives for and then you're going to give us the scoop on why you're not allowed or why you haven't got a Metal Archives page. Are you a bit too hardcore or something? Or they're not the...
Pretty much, yeah. That's basically what they said. But the thing is, none of us put in a submission. So we hadn't even thought about trying to add ourselves until the whole like cat picture thing for April Fool's Day happened. We were like, that'd be quite cool. And Jake tried to set it up, and it said that we were banned. We were blacklisted in 2019 because we're not. And Jake had to chase this up. It wouldn't tell us why we were blacklisted, and none of us submitted it. So someone that we know has tried to submit us, which is like a nice thing to do. But then we've been blacklisted because apparently we're more hardcore than metal. So
strong.
Yeah, it's a bit, innit?
Yeah, I've had other people who've had that as well. But you see, and I sometimes don't understand it myself because I listen to bands and I think, this band ain't got to be on there. They're really hardcore. They're not be on there. Look, there they are. Okay, they are on there. And then another band I think should be on there. And I look at it, and they're not on there. So I wonder why that is. And I find out they weren't allowed on, kind of thing. And then some bands get let on the strength of like one record or one song or something. I've seen bands on there like everything they've done was like punk, and it's one album that's slightly crossover, and they've been allowed on just for the strength of that one album out of like 25 albums or something. One album having to be more metal, and so so maybe you just need to write like a 2-track straight up heavy metal album, just so you, or EP, just so you can get on there, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, our newest single, "The End," is pretty much like it's like as extreme as we, well, not as extreme as we could make it, but as extreme as we could make it at the time. Like we properly wanted to show like our black metal influences and our kind of like more underground influences in that single. So like I don't understand why that wouldn't be accepted either, but there you go.
They do seem to have some kind of like strange way sometimes. Archives, so I say. But let's talk about your first release. And the EP, was it called Pain?
Pain, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, early 2019. Where did you record that?
We recorded that at the Audio Lab where we rehearsed.
Right. Yeah. Did you do your own sound, or did you have a sound man for it?
We had a technician, the guy who like runs the whole place. Our friend's dad. He like sorted us all out to help us all because we didn't really know what we were doing, and we also didn't really know anybody. And he's in a band called the Downsetters, which are like reggae kind of ska.
Okay.
And he'd never had to record anything like us before, so it was like it was kind of a nice like challenge for both parties to try and work out what the fuck we were meant to be doing, kind of thing.
Do you think you rose to the challenge? Are you still happy with the sound and everything?
Yeah, I think it encapsulates that kind of time perfectly, because we just wanted to come out with something horrible, like with no real like redeeming qualities other than it's just fucking horrible. And I think we did that pretty well. So
all right, cool. Fucking horrible is an interesting way to, but sometimes fucking horrible can be good to listen to, though. You know, I'm not actually. I mean, is the sound on the video, the final thing, is that the actual sound from the actual demo? Or is that
that's from the EP, I believe.
Yeah, cool. How long did you spend over putting it together? Was it like a rush job, or did you have lots of time? Did it cost you a lot of money, or was it just like because it's friend and friend? Or
basically, we spent, I don't know how. I think we spent just over £100 all in all on it, and it took us a whole day, just like 9 till I think like 6:30, 7 job of just getting it all done in one day, and then the mixing and mastering we didn't really have much part in. So
so you left that to the end,
yeah, pretty much. I think Jake might have done something as well. I can't really remember because it's all a bit jumbled up, but I know that he did some work on our single "The End" as well. Jake did. So
cool. So do you want to just go through the songs on Pain? What tracks are on there? You know, what is it you do in the band again?
I'm the vocalist.
So do you write the lyrics as well?
Yeah, but not like wholly, because there's like a song on the EP which was written by Daniel. So that one's different.
Does that bother you having to learn someone else's lyrics, or is it nothing that doesn't bother you at all?
It's a little bit harder than learning something you've written, because you don't really have to learn it; it's already there. But it's quite a nice beat, and he knows what he's doing, so it was quite easy to work out, really.
Yeah, because I used to sing in my band, and I wrote all the lyrics, and no one ever tried to actually write any lyrics for it. I don't know what I would like if anyone had said, "Hey, sing this." I don't know if I would. I don't think I would have minded, probably, but yeah, it's just I wasn't too sure. Just thinking about it. So, what's your songs about then on the EP?
So we start off.
Pain. Was it all based on like pain, the concept of pain going through it, or? Yeah,
basically, it was like, I think collectively we were all going through a pretty like shit time at the time. And so, like, I just kind of let everything spew out onto a page, basically.
Yeah.
And the name came from the song "Pain" that we wrote, and that was just because it's basically a bar fight. Essentially, it's essentially just a bar fight song, a 30-second, like real quick. It's there and it's gone, and I just called that "Pain" because you're in pain when you get hit with a bottle or something,
Yeah, you would be. Fortunately, it's never happened to me, but I can grasp the concept. I think, that would hurt.
Yeah,
it might leave you looking a bit bloody, and So what about the other tracks on there?
So we've got I can't remember the order now, but we've got Survival of the Fittest, which was basically, it's kind of like trying to find your feet in a world that you don't really know yet. So that's basically a self-reflection of us in the band trying to build ourselves up, you know.
Is it about yourself in life, like getting out into the big wide world, like growing pains or something like that, or, you know?
Basically like survival of the fittest. So it's like you've got to go out and give everything you can, because there's always going to be someone better than you coming along to take it away, you know what I mean? And also, like, a lot of the toxicity and stuff that happens when you start out something, and there's always people which badmouth it and talk about you behind your back and all that kind of shit that you think's gone when you're like 14 or 15 or like 16 when you leave school. You think it's all gone, but it never goes if you're like doing something creative, because there's always someone there ready to like tear you down.
People like to fucking criticize and bitch. Like, they see someone doing well, they think they're doing better than them. They're all like, fucking, you know, they all say shit behind their back, won't they?
Yeah,
does happen.
That happens everywhere. So there's that. There's To Be the Hunter, which was a song I wrote when I was about 14 or 15, which I totally forgot about, and then we had all the instrumentals sorted out, and I was going through an old like Google Drive, and I just saw them and was like, oh, that would actually work quite well, so I just chucked them in. That's like another song which is slightly different from the formula that we tend to go with. So, but that works pretty well. I really enjoy that song because it's just like it's really intense and in your face to begin with, and then it kind of spreads out and then has like this massive breakdown. It's like a bit more dynamic than just constantly in your face the whole time.
Yeah. Do you think it's the breakdowns that might have kept you off at Metal Archives?
Probably, yeah.
There's a lot of bands could do that kind of. Slam has kind of breakdowns, doesn't it? As well, like Slam.
Well, that's the thing. Slam is like all breakdowns, isn't it? There's nothing but breakdowns. So
I'm kind of shit when it comes to actually like working out genres, though. It's like you say, you get to fucking, it's just like, it's all fucking heavy metal, you know. It's all fucking heavy metal to me. Well, you know, it's fucking heavy. It's got guitars and drums and people shouting. It's all good as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. The only reason you need to have a name on it is so that people supposedly find it easier. But I don't even really see how that is a thing, because if you look at a band's logo, you generally know whether you're going to be into it or not. Like, if they've marketed themselves well, anyway.
Yeah, you get a general gist of it, don't you? But like, most of the bands I talk to, you sort of try and say, "Oh, what genre are you?" And it's like, oh, it's one of those questions. It's like, oh, do you have to ask us that one? You know, it's like fucking who cares? Just listen to it yourself and fucking decide if you like it or not.
Especially with that EP, we just kind of decided to write each song as different from the last one as we could, if you get what I mean. So we didn't want it to be one like continuous sound all the way through. We just kind of wanted to experiment and have everything be different from each other.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then we've got, so I've done Survival. There's Hysterics, which is one which I wrote on the guitar. I wrote the first like guitar parts of it, and then Jake made it better than it was ever going to be from me writing it. And that's like feeling, basically the lyrics are like feeling like you can't go out without people thinking without you thinking people are judging you. So you can't go out without feeling like people's eyes are on you, or people are saying stuff about you to each other, or, you know, it's just like a bit of a paranoia kind of thing. You're in hysterics, like you're not in a good state of mind.
Yeah. Is it your lyrics? I mean, obviously there's some sort of basis in your own kind of mind and your own thoughts kind of thing. But is it like your own thoughts and feelings dialed up to 11 kind of thing? That's what I kind of did with my lyrics. Pretty much, yeah. It's that, and then like with like a little extra like gore and nastiness thrown in. Yeah. There's like a small kernel of truth, but then it's extrapolated outwards to make it more metal. Like my band was Suffering, and I couldn't sort of sing something. I'm feeling a little bit depressed today. I had to fucking ramp it up, otherwise it would have been fucking boring. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, there is kind of that little thing is there though, so it's kind of good. Do you find it good to get like when you have the dark thoughts or whatever to sing about it and fucking shout it out?
Oh yeah,
is it like catharsis?
yeah, 100%. If I like, I can't get over something without like singing it or like writing it, or I feel like if I've got an issue, I have to sit and sing about it or write about it because otherwise it just hangs around in here.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
And then like I have to get the idea out, or it's just always going to be there, and it drives me mad.
You writing lyrics is kind of like cheap therapy. It saves you like
kind of, yeah.
A psychiatrist.
Yeah. Kind of. It just gets it out, so then I haven't got to sit there and think about just that all day.
Yeah, that's cool. That's interesting. And how often do you? I mean, you got like fucking reams of notes ready for like new songs, or do you get the riffs first and then start writing the song? How do you do it?
I've done like a bit of both. So like I used to, before we started properly writing songs for the band, I would like write everything. I had like full songs, like pages and pages of full songs. But then I found that when you're trying to create the kind of feeling we want to create, it doesn't work really to bring those things into like new instrumentals. I really struggled to feel excited about words which have been there for like 2-3 years and then revisited and then thrown back in, because I think there's a bit more excitement in being in a room with people. And like with Survival of the Fittest, we literally came up, we had the instrumentals done, and the minute the instrumentals were done, I stood there, the whole band just looped it for about 20-30 minutes, and then when that 20-30 minutes was done, I had the whole song written. And so that is like the way that I like to write. I like to have the song there and
more
then
fresh and immediate kind of thing.
Yeah, because then it feels more organic. It doesn't feel like I'm sitting there. It doesn't feel like I'm sitting there planning out like this song's going to be about this or this song's going to be about that. It kind of just flows out from whatever I'm feeling at the time.
That's cool. That's a cool way of doing it. Yeah, I suppose all the words you've got written before, you can maybe take a small concept or maybe a line or two or something like that. And then
that's what I did with To Be the Hunter.
Yeah, that's cool.
Where it was like old lyrics and then just kind of shaped around this new instrumental and chopped up a bit, you know.
Well, can we expect a book of poetry from you in the future as well?
Probably not. I wouldn't have thought so.
Oh well. Yeah, no,
but you never know. Give it time.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever checked out my podcast, but I do a poetry corner every week. We do a poetry corner. I have 2 tracks of a silly thing, and I put a poem in the middle. Not my own poem. I just fucking find a random poem. It's more about trolling the people listening than actually having interest in poetry. I just take the piece and say, I know this is your favourite part of the show, everybody. It's poetry corner time. It's just fucking daftness. Anyway, so you got everything ready for this first gig. When was that first gig? Was that 2019?
I can't remember now. I think it was like the start of the next year. So yeah, it'd have been like early 2019, I think.
Right. And obviously we've had fucking a whole year off at the moment. But how many gigs? You said you actually told me you had a few gigs.
I've got it wrong. It was 2018. I've got it wrong. I think it was 2018. Early 2018, I believe. Right.
So you've had a couple of years of gigs before fucking the world ended.
Yeah. We gigged about a bit.
How was that? I mean, have you got further afield from your own local area, or is it mainly?
Oh yeah.
Tell us about some of your gig experiences then, please.
So, like, we started off playing around Ipswich, obviously, because you have to play where you live to start with, and then we through playing with like local bands, and then like getting our name out there a bit more, and then having being put up to different gigs with bands coming from further afield, and then them liking us, and then networking through those bands. That's got us everywhere we've been so far. So it's pretty much all just from playing with bands set up in our local area, and then them being like, we really like you guys, do you want to come and play with us, sort of thing. Pretty much.
So where have you played then elsewhere in the UK?
Done Norwich, Bury, London, Wellingborough, Peterborough.
It's quite a few trips then.
Yeah, love the trips.
Yeah. What's the furthest afield you've been?
I think probably Wellingborough.
No, how long was that?
Near Peterborough. That was pretty decent journey. That was literally like a couple days before the world turned to shit as well.
Oh,
So,
right, okay.
So
Who
yeah,
you,
I wasn't.
Yeah, carry on.
So like I wasn't. It wasn't like the most packed out gig in the world. I say that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It happens sometimes. That does fucking
Yeah.
happen. But what bands have you played with then? Any like you said you played with? I know you. No, you didn't. Sorry, I was saying. Now, who you played with? Anyone good? Anyone I've heard of?
So Diker, if you know them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you play at a Retribution event?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Retribution
Right.
Live. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, we played one with them guys.
Was that in January?
Yeah, that'd be it.
Because they always do a January show for Retribution
with Diker. Yeah.
I must have missed that one. I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Really good. That was at the Dev.
Okay, no, I missed that one. I think I missed that one. I don't remember now. So many fucking gigs, you know what I mean? Too much head banging, too many beers. I don't remember shit anymore. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah. Diker have been amazing to us guys. They're like that. Our relationship with them started literally from them playing down in Ipswich with us,
right?
And like us being put on quite low, and then Ice being like, "You guys are great. Come and like." We ended up playing Renaissance Festival the next year after that. And then we did Dark 7 last year, which was the Electroworks again. And then we did the Retribution Live with them as well. And we've had them come and play at our own gigs as well in Ipswich a few times. So
quite different in styles, though, aren't you? Like yeah, but that's all good because like people have got like wider taste. There are some people just like their own little corner of the metal kind of genres. But
it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird playing like the gigs which Ice sets up for us because there's a lot of people who are going for like industrial or like I don't really know, like industrial, like more experimental stuff, and then they get like us who are just like who at the time were basically just angry teenagers like quickly necking shots backstage and running on like that was a bit, but we've always had like amazing times playing with those guys because I think it's those kind of scenes which welcome people a lot more as well than like the standard metal like mainstream places.
Yeah, possibly. I'm not too sure, but obviously your experience would be better and more knowledgeable than mine because you've had to deal with how you've been treated, how you've been accepted, kind of thing. I suppose people must get off on the energy though, because is that like how would you describe? From what I saw of the Survival of the Fittest video, it looked like you got fucking like energy, and that's kind of your thing. You kind of like I think you saw people jump up and down and fucking what's a typical live show like for you guys?
We just burn ourselves out. That's literally what we do. We just go like as hard as we possibly can, everything to like 20, and just if we're like at the end and we can stand up, then it's not a good gig. Like we just go for it and hope that people enjoy it, and that's pretty much it.
I take it it's all been like one-off gigs, like what gig here, gig there. No, like every night for a week or nothing like that. Surely you'd wreck yourself if you had to do a whole.
I feel like we'd be all right, to be honest, because we're still young enough. we've still got it in the bones at the minute. That's the thing. It does take a toll.
Yeah, I reckon it would do. I need to have a sit down or make a cup of tea. It's like, I've made a cup of tea now. I've got to have a sit down quickly.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. It will come to you one day. You wait.
It'll probably come to me quicker than most people.
Yeah, may do. You got to keep some in the tank. That's all I can say. But no, joking aside, I mean, fucking, what's it been like the last fucking year? Let's go from the highs and the happiness and the having fun out on the road to like fucking dead end stop.
Honestly, for me, it's been terrible.
Yeah.
The worst possible thing that could have happened, like to me, I reckon, because I enjoy making the songs and I enjoy like recording the songs and I enjoy everything to do with it. But then the reward for me is the live show.
Yeah.
Because it's not even like I always thought it was about playing in front of people, which does it, but I think it's just the actual act of like exerting that much energy.
Yeah.
Like it just fucking levels me out. So this whole time where I've had to like find new fucking hobbies to like try and burn this like fire that's still going on.
Have you taken up darts?
I played darts anyway.
I thought you could just imagine you fucking darts all fucking day long.
That happened on the last interview I did. I did the band to band thing with Hedra a couple of weeks ago with Jakey, and they said the same thing. They were like, "Oh, you're taking up darts in the lockdown."
It's there in the background. I couldn't ever mention it.
Yeah, but
like it's kind of like you fucking, I don't know, chemistry. You make all the fucking music together, and then I don't know talk about magic, but it's kind of like the performance and the fucking getting the energy out. Like, I know it wears you out. It gives you a massive fucking like endorphin high. I imagine.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm really lacking, because like it's the combination of like the constant build up of energy where I'd normally be putting it into like finding us gigs or going to gigs and playing. Like that's still there. The fire's still there, but I can't fucking exert it properly. So like I have hobbies which I've always done, like I skateboard and stuff, and like and like I've got into mountain biking recently in the past like 6 months to try and like just like one, tire me out, and two, just to give me some sort of hit of something, because this whole year without anything has just been terrible.
It's like I always say, there's just so much masturbating you can do before it gets boring. You got to find other things. you got to find other things to do. I mean, because I always say this as well, like, because I'm an old fucking now, but my days of going out every night are long behind me. But I'm kind of like, I'm so fucking glad it's never happened like 30 years ago when I was like active and fucking going out every night. You won't just be fucking climbing the walls.
As people like my brother, he's just turned 18 in December. And so he's feeling it, because he can't hasn't had the same sort of thing where like on your birthday you go out to the pub and like get way too drunk for your first time and make loads of mistakes, and then like
it's a learning experience.
That's part of growing up, man. And
it's a rite of passage.
It really is, because I had so many of those. Like I know all us guys had so many of those from like, well, I'm still gonna have more, 100% still gonna have more. But like, especially from like 18 to like 21, 22, you just fucking you just go as hard as you can, don't you?
What's the worst state you've ended up in? Any good fucking getting pissed experiences?
There's always good ones, but then there's always the bad ones that you remember.
Kind of.
So there was one. If we want to keep it related to the band, there was one when we played in Leytonstone.
Oh right. Did you play at the Plough and Harrow?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
I'm in Leytonstone now. I actually live in Leytonstone. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
That was. Oh fuck! I can't remember the name of the event now.
Is it? Oh fuck it! I should know, because it's fucking my mates that put it on. But it wasn't an Retribution. Retribution have done one there or two there, but I can't remember the other guys who put stuff on there as well. But never mind. Anyway, carry on.
We played a gig there, and we kind of like we ended up headlining it pretty soon before we were getting there, and we weren't originally, but like the headliner pulled out, and so it got put to us.
Right.
And so it was also on a night that Sabaton were playing Wembley Arena.
Right.
So that puts you off to a bad start straight away, because anybody who possibly might have been coming to these like smaller gigs is more than likely going to be going to watch Sabaton. So
quite often,
So like anyway, we've turned up, and I'm drinking way too much from the get go. Like drinking before we even got there. Like, just stupid decisions, really. It was just all stupid decisions.
That's life, though, isn't it? You always. I remember doing it all the time. I must not get too pissed, blah blah blah, and then next thing you know, you're fucking waking up and the cats are eating Chinese off your chest. That kind of thing.
That was just like,
and you've wet yourself. I might be talking from experience with that one, but
but it was like. Also, the longer wait before we were going on really fucked me, because like you're not expecting it. So then we turned up and had like an extra hour or more to wait than I thought, and so I'd fit like a few more drinks in before then. And man, I was like, I can't remember playing the show, but there's footage of me on Facebook of like knocking the donation bucket for the band off the stage, and like, Luckily, we were playing with friends. Like, and we had friends in one of the other bands, and they were like all for it. They were loving it, so they were just like, "Hey, just let us do our thing." But like, I fell off the stage and fell onto the monitors, and like,
oh man,
like cut all my back up, and then, but that wasn't even the worst of it. So like, we get home after this gig, which didn't go amazingly, and like, we're loading our equipment through to the shed where like was our practice space, is where we keep our equipment. So I'm walking through, and my mum, who was at home while my dad and all of us were out, she said that there was like electric problems, some of the lights weren't working, so my dad was in the understairs cupboard sorting the lights out, and I thought all of our equipment was stacking up in the hallway, so I thought I'd take it through to the shed. Anyway, I'll go through and put stuff down, and there's a light, like an automatic light, which comes on when you walk in there. All of a sudden, it's gone pitch black where my dad's turned the lights off.
Okay.
And so I've turned around, like totally disorientated, slipped, and we have like a metal log burner in the shed, and I've smashed my head on the metal, on like a tiny little like edge of it, right? And just gone down. And I saw white, and I genuinely thought I was dead. I thought I'd passed on. I genuinely thought I fucking died, right? So, like maybe like it felt like forever, but like a couple minutes maybe passed, and I've like got up and stumbled into the hallway, like I fell over kind of thing, and I didn't even realise, but my head was pissing blood. I didn't realise. So I walked in, and my mum was like, "Oh my god, you're bleeding," and I was like, "Oh shit." That was like the end of that saga.
It's another battle scar, another drunken story to tell. It's all good fun. I always find like it's a lot easier, like you say, to remember the fucking bad things that happen than actually remember the good stuff. Like it's crazy, but that's life, I suppose.
That happens. But that's what like people now turning 18 have been robbed of, those kind of experiences, which does build your character. Like it does.
And it
give
gives
you an
something to look
experience.
forward to as well. You say like you was talking about like being like down because you can't do gigs. That's another thing. Not only just like writing the music for the gigs, but the expectancy of a gig coming up. It's like you got something to look forward to. Oh, I'm doing a gig next week. Oh yeah, fucking gig's coming out. Can't wait.
Like I'd spend all my like downtime at work, because I do quite a boring job. I just do trolleys at Tesco. So it's like it's mind-numbingly boring of a job. There's not a lot of thought go into it. So I'd spend the whole time originally like learning our songs. So I'd just like sing to myself and learn our songs. And then it got to a point where I know the songs back to front. It's boring. So I'd just like imagine what the gigs are going to be like. And like next week we're playing at this place. What's the venue look like? What kind of turnout do they normally get? And then I try and like picture what it's going to be like in my head and get all excited about it. But like all of that is gone, because you don't know. You don't know when the next gig's going to be. You don't know whether things are going to get worse. You don't
Like, that's the other thing. Like it's bad enough, like locking down for sort of like a couple of months or whatever. Then it's complete uncertainty of not knowing when it's going to come back, if it's going to come back. I mean, have you been able to at least get together for like jamming and that, or have you kind of stuck to the lockdown rules and avoided each other? And
we managed to get together to do a live stream once through this whole thing. When like everything got eased originally, like we were able to get into the studio and like do a live stream gig, but that's just not like cutting it.
It's not
nowhere near the same.
No.
So other than that, we've like met up a few times when we're able to like just get together and spend time together, like once or twice. But that's basically it. Like,
but not been able to write anything or get any new songs in the bag.
Well, we've got like ideas in the bag, and we like each person's like writing something, recording it, sending it to each other. So we've got ideas there. It's just that we don't want to try and structure everything and get it all right before we get into a studio, because it's like that's where
hands-on.
That's where you get like the feeling of the song. Me personally, I respond to the how a song makes me feel more than what it sounds like, if that makes sense. So if it like amps me up and just gives me that fucking vibe that I just want to fucking go crazy to, then I can feel that. Whereas you can't feel that as much when it's just like a guitar track coming through a speaker, you know?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of bands who do that. I mean, you haven't even got to be in the same fucking country now to fucking write songs and be in a band together.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it, but then it's cool. But I can definitely appreciate the fact that wanting to have that energy and wanting to be there and like the more visceral kind of old school way of fucking forging the song together in the same room and fucking bouncing ideas off each other and like say getting the energy of the the jam session or whatever and forming your song around it. That's there's a magic there, like a metal magic.
Yeah, definitely.
Forged in the cauldron of the studio or something. It's probably a bit too man of war there, but that kind of vibe,
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, it does make sense. But you did have a single though, didn't you? We haven't actually tapped on the single, the end.
Yeah.
When I had a quick look, it seemed like it was quite a story behind that, the lyrics of the single or something.
So the lyrics are disconnected from the other thing. So
right.
So the lyrics are about like kind of political isolation and not really feeling like one, you can even really form your own opinion, or two, that if you do have an opinion that's formed, you can't really get it out or have it be respected by other people and have it like basically like growing up and not knowing what the fuck politics is, but it's like everything in the world,
Yeah.
And they don't teach you anything at school about it, but it's like the most important thing because it dictates the whole fucking world.
Yeah.
And then what happened with Jake's brother? Like Jake's brother passed away, so we dedicated it to him,
right?
Because it just felt right. It was the right kind of vibe.
Yeah,
basically.
fair enough. Yeah, that's sad. And you say though, it's like you have school and all that, do your exams, but when you come out into the real world and they expect you to be an adult, and it's like, well, fuck, no one knows how to be an adult today. It's like it's really fucking weird, bloody experience, isn't it? It's like you start having to fucking pay bills and fucking rent and all that kind of shit. It's like, oh man, it's so weird. That's what they should be teaching in schools, really, how to fucking deal with life when you're no longer at school, rather than fucking trigonometry and shit you're never going to use.
Yeah, seriously, it would have made like definitely my life a lot easier if I could just like even get taught at school how like important it kind of is, because I just kind of shrugged it off and was never interested in it and never really. I'm still not like crazy into it now because I just got too depressed with everything. But like it's you have to have some sort of like grasp on it, otherwise you don't. Otherwise you're just kind of sitting there floating down the river, sort of thing, just going along with everything that's happening.
Yeah. We've got a couple of others. You see in these comments that Aidan French apparently saw you at the Premier Pool Club.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Norwich, maybe?
With Hatspun. No, that's in Ipswich. That's our local one. That's one of our favourite ones.
Never heard of Hatspun. I know Damien and I know Consecration. That's
cool. Hatspun are great. They're French black metal.
Okay. Oh, right. I've never heard of them. That's cool.
Like ritualistic, shamanistic style.
Okay.
Like fucking
sounds interesting. Okay. Yeah, Damien and Consecration, I know pretty well. They're both awesome bands. I've chatted to Consecration before, and Damien, I've known him for ages. The Nathaniel from Damien, I've known him for fucking. I used to gigs with me back in the day when he was called Dam. When he first started as Dam, like Ghost Hand. I think this guy. I think he's from Brazil. This fella. There's a lot of the big artists that are making songs regarding the virus or lockdown felt like a gimmick. There's not enough small down to earth artists doing the same thematically. I'm guessing that's what you mean. So yeah, that's a good point of view. I mean, I know you like to make your lyrics when you get back into the studio rather than sitting and writing them down. You like to form your lyrics around the vibe of the song. Do you think there might be some fuck you Corona kind of songs in the future, or maybe sort of catharsis for what's happened and excitement for what do you reckon? Anything like that might come up?
More than likely, yeah. More than likely. I don't like to try and sit and plan things out, but more than likely. Yeah. More than likely. I have a feeling because of this whole like year of not being able to get anything out. There's gonna be a lot, I think. Yeah. Between all of us. We've all had like shit happen throughout this year. Like Jake lost his brother, mine and Daniel's Nan passed away. Our Nan passed away, and then Sonny's granddad passed away also recently. And so we've all like lost people in different ways, and also lost like our love, which is being in a band.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
that's another thing. Like fucking mental health. They all talk about mental health being fucking really shit. I mean, I felt fucking shit myself. I always kind of like felt up and down with fucking moods. But this doesn't fucking help. So you got nothing to look forward to, and it's just fucking same old, sitting indoors all fucking day long. I mean, yeah, it's God. But yeah, there needs to be some. Hopefully, like if you start. When you do start to get jamming again, you can start get it out of your fucking system quickly. Write some fucking vicious, fucking nasty fucking tunes.
Yeah.
Like, when you finally get on stage, maybe that you can fucking put it behind you, like exercise it, like create this like
that is what it is.
Then sing it to get that shit out of your system, and hopefully whenever nothing like this fucking hopefully doesn't fucking come back again. Like coming out of the lockdown at the moment. I take it you're too young to have been jabbed by now, aren't you? I think.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not getting one for ages. Probably not. No. I ain't heard nothing about it. So
that's the one benefit of being an old bastard. I had mine last week. I had my first one last week. Yeah.
Yeah. Saying that, my younger brother is now 18. He got contacted for one way before I have. So.
Oh right. Is he got an underlying health problem or? Not
necessarily. No.
That's weird.
Like is a big boy, like but not dangerous or anything, Like
no, that's weird. Did it not say why they would? Didn't say why they do. No,
didn't say. But he got the text and was like, "Sure, fuck it, I'll go get it. Why not?"
Yeah. So might as well. Yeah, while it's fucking being offered, you might as well. So we got anything else? Anyone said in the chat? If there's any questions. Also, I fully remember the late 90s and early 2000s having lots of bands tackle the whole adult life theme, but mostly the emotional aspect and your relation to society. Yeah, it's kind of it's quite a common theme, but I mean, there's a reason it's a common theme because it fucking does go through everybody's heads, doesn't it?
Yeah, every single person has it. So
yeah,
it makes sense.
I still can't believe I'm a fucking adult. It's like I'm fucking 51. It's like, really? Have I got to be an adult? So fucking hell, I'm gonna be like 60 fucking 9 years time. It's like shit. I'm an old cunt, but I don't feel like. I kind of feel like it, but I don't feel like it at the same time. It's weird. Your brain always I think your brain always thinks on the same level. Like I don't remember thinking any different now than what I did when I was a kid. I still kind of like the same kind of things, think the same kind of thoughts. It's really weird. Life is weird, man. Anyway. Yeah. Well, I can't think of anything to talk about now. Let's talk about the single, and we've obviously because it's fucking super hard to talk about anything because we don't know what. We can't make fucking plans for the future because there's exactly you can plan, is there?
We have got a couple gigs planned. We've got one in Ipswich and one in Northampton. Which I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think I saw. Did you not post that up today? Did that go? I remember thinking myself. I must mention that. I think I saw it posted up on Facebook today. A gig in July or something like that.
Yeah, 30th of July. That's the one. Yeah, 30th of July. That's planned for.
Yeah,
that's in Northampton.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully.
It still goes on,
I don't see why not at this point. It's like a seated gig with tickets. They've done everything.
They've done all
They've done everything they can.
Yeah, it won't be the same, will it? But I suppose
no, it's not the same, but it's still something. I can even if the crowd aren't, I can still fucking knacker myself out. And
it's a glimmer of fucking hope. You won't get any stage divers on Mosh Pit or nothing.
Nah. But, the funny thing is though that they're gonna have to sit there and they're gonna have to be forced to sit there and watch me be sick all over the stage from overexerting myself. You know what I
mean? Oh man, that sounds crazy. It's a step in the right direction anyway. So hopefully that will go ahead. What about release wise? Are you planning on got like an EP thinking next or an album next? Have you had any label interest or?
We haven't really gone down the label route yet. It's something we still got to try and work out. But we're thinking about just self-releasing our own album, coming up with a debut album because we've got enough experience now. We feel like, and we want to come out with something proper to put our name to. So that's going to be that. And conceptually, me and Jake have talked about this a lot, and conceptually what's going to happen with it and stuff, and it's going to follow on from from the EP, but it's basically going to be bigger and better and nastier.
Right. Do you think you go to the same place to get it recorded, or you think you might move to a more experienced?
We're trying to go all out on this basically. So we're going to go like to someone that knows what we're doing and gets the grasp of what we're trying to go for.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea to get somebody who can like add to it, but who've got experience of recording that kind of thing and can give you tips and stuff to get the best sound. Yeah. I was chatting to the Advent Equation yesterday from Mexico, and they were saying they're a producer, and they said because of that fact, he's got experience, and he can say, "Oh, why don't you try doing this a little bit like this?" And like, as long as you're willing to like take in what he says, and like because obviously some bands are like, "No, fuck it, we're going to do it our own way," and they don't want to listen to any advice. But as long as you're open to taking advice, it can be very helpful to sort of like tweak things and make things. Maybe
especially when you're starting out as a band like us, I feel like it's good to have someone that knows what they're doing. Well, like we start the REP Payne, the guy that recorded it all knew what he was doing. In terms of recording and mixing and mastering, all that kind of stuff, he knows what he's doing because he's done it like his whole life for his own stuff. It's just that he hasn't done it for us.
It's a different style. So maybe somebody who's more used to that style might have an extra element that they can bring to it, But good luck to it anyway. I mean, that's a stupid question. How are you financing? Have you got like a band account? Do you you put your gig money into a band, or
basically we've got an account which has like all of our merch money, all of our cool. Everything which say you buy a t-shirt that goes into the band to be put towards recording or traveling for when we had gigs. It'd be for traveling and all that kind of stuff, cool. We haven't taken a penny of it since we started because there's no point at this point. If we were sharing it all out, we'd only get virtually fuck all for. So we might as well keep it all in there.
I remember once I got 30. The fucking promoter gave me 30 quid, and I was drunk, and I just bought some CDs of it. And I said to the guys, "Oh, I just spent our fucking gig money on CDs. Sorry, guys." Oops. Anyway, they didn't mind because it was local gig anyway.
That's technically that's reinvesting it into the music.
Exactly.
So you can't be angry about that.
Yeah.
Just say as for the van on the way down.
Yeah, I can still remember one of the CDs I bought. I can't remember. I forgot 2 CDs. One was a Mangled Torso. That's what I can remember. Mangled Torso. I can't remember the album now, but it was a good album. I still like it to this day. But there you go. What about any kind of online presence? Obviously, you've got your Facebook page. You've got a YouTube channel. You need to get some more. You've got less than 100 subs on your YouTube channel at the moment.
Yeah, YouTube isn't.
No, are you
got loads on it?
No, but I mean, are you sort of thinking during this period when you can't actually do gigs of maybe using some of your social medias to grow things more and get more people interested? Some bands would they do blogs and playthroughs and shit like that on their YouTube. I mean, is there anything you think about doing that, or?
Oh, we're bounced about different ideas, maybe doing a podcast and different things, but it's just none of us really feel like it at the minute.
Right.
with all this kind of stuff, none of us really feel like doing that kind of extra stuff because we just want to be able to do what we love to do.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes to get
when the purpose for your life gets taken away.
Yeah.
Then what do you have left?
Yeah, I understand that. What about the merch? You seem to be quite. When you first start doing merch, is that one of the first things you did? Just we're going to be serious about this band. We're going to have merch. We're going to sell shirts to people. And how's that going?
It's going well.
Yeah.
Not, I wouldn't say a killing, but we've made enough.
Yeah, that's cool.
And just and they're always good. So the first ones we did were just the cover for Payne REP, which is quite a gnarly looking image, so that worked out really well. They went fucking hotcakes. They did.
That's cool.
And then after that we did a KillerKorp crew shirt with just the KillerKorp logo on it, and we did a sale on them recently. I think we've still got a few left,
cool.
at weird sizes.
Right. Yeah.
And then
what's the size that sells best?
Sorry,
what's the size that sells best? I'm guessing XL, but
I think we ran out of larges first.
Okay.
I think we ran out of either larges or mediums sold out first. So
okay, that was a stupid question anyway. I don't even know why I asked it.
That's all right. But yeah, and then we just released the end t-shirts. So they've just got the end EP, the single cover up, which is done by Chris Casket. He's in Strigoi and Valen Fear.
Okay.
And he was in Extreme Noise Terror as well, I think.
Okay, right, cool.
But he does like monochrome art. It's gnarly looking, so nice.
Cool. Fuck it, I had a question in my head, but I forgot what it was. Oh, the video. Any more plans for any more like band videos? Like you got the side of the fitties. Was that just obviously it's just like a gig footage? But is there any plans for any other videos with maybe a little bit different elements to it? Or
the idea with like the survival video was like it's kind of it showcases that whole chapter of like that EP. So like the whole time we were playing after releasing that EP up until the pandemic pretty much was like seen by us as that chapter. And so that kind of showcased our favourite parts of that chapter in there. And then I'm not really sure what we're going to do with videos next. Probably when we have more music, we'll come up with better ideas for stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's something you might work on more in the future, doing more band videos, yeah?
Yeah. I've just seen that someone asked about patches. Yeah, we've got patches as well. We've got patches, badges, and a few t-shirts left. So
where did you sell your patches and stuff? I think I put a link in it because the link down below leads to my blog post, which has got the KillerKorp. Sorry, I keep saying KillerKorp now, but it's got the KillerKorp links. Your Big Cartel is on there, so people can get your t-shirts and patches from the Big Cartel page.
Yeah, I believe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got your Facebook link, your Bandcamp link, your Instagram, your Big Cartel, and your YouTube link, all on the blog.
Yeah, that's everything.
And the blog post is down below. So if anyone wants to check out their pages, support them on, follow them, sub them on YouTube. The links are all in my blog. And yeah, that's it really. Coming up to an hour now, and that's kind of a look. I was thinking of maybe playing out with. I've got your Survival of the Fittest video. Maybe I could play out with that. If that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, go with that.
Yeah, so people who maybe don't know it, they can check it out. I don't know if there's any more questions. Yeah, someone asked if you're unsigned, but we already covered that, didn't we?
Yeah, unsigned. Yeah.
How much are the KillerKorp patches, if you remember?
Off the top of my head, I want to say they're between like £6 and £8. I'm not 100% sure though. You'll have to go and check the link. It's been a while since I've looked.
Yeah, check the blog link below. That takes you to the blog post where all the links for the band's pages are. Yeah, and my pages are on there as well. So please follow me on here and on Twitch and everywhere, basically Facebook and shit. And check out my podcast. I just did 393rd one of my High Speed Hangover podcasts just came out today, and that'll be in the same blog. You can check out my Metal Pub TV blog. Got all the band footage I've taken there. All my podcasts are on there as well. And if anyone wants any extra podcasts, as if 393 weren't enough, I do a Patreon show once a month. If you're a Patreon, you get an extra themed show from me. So sign up to my Patreon. The link is down below. Right, and I'll let you finish up, mate. Also, other things that I can say to you as well, like if you want to hit me up with an intro, so I can, when I play you on my show in the future, I can start the show off with your intro kind of thing. Just you guys saying, "Hi, we're KillerKorp," from so and so. You're listening. Yeah, just hit one of those. And also, I do Friday night hangouts as well. If you guys ever want to come in on Friday night, have some beers and just chat shit on YouTube, then hit me up with that, and we can do that. At some point.
It sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I'll let you finish up with whatever you want to say, and then we'll go straight into your track.
All right, cool. Just check us out on all the links below if you've enjoyed our chat. I hope you're ready to melt your fucking face off. Or something along them lines.
Yeah, I should have given you some warning, but so you could have written something better.
Yeah,
but that's cool. It was cool chatting to you, mate. It was good chatting to you.
Yeah, cool, you too.
Yeah, when you get anything else out, like hit me up with MP3. I'll play it on the show. And if you want to come on here and if you've got anything you're selling or whatever, you can come on here and we can talk about it again. Come and hang out on a Friday night with us. Right, we're going to play out with KillerKorp, Survival of the Fittest. If it works.